Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty.
Hello there. Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 400 and what? What?
You missed the entire idea that we were going to start the show with.
Why don't you take it? Take it away, Mark.
Start record. Okay, fine. Okay. Welcome.
I'm sure that was an accident.
We've literally discussed this 5 seconds ago. Okay, welcome to the show.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. We're doing a Saturday morning episode because I had some free time and I said, fuck it, let's see if these guys can record. Anyway, big news. We have a huge get for the show. As many people who've been following politics know, Donald Trump has been going on multiple podcasts. He's been talking to America. He has been trying to get himself out there because not everyone knows Donald Trump. Anyway, we tricked him. We told him we had a lot more listeners than we do. We have Donald Trump on the show. Welcome, Donald.
I heard this was the biggest podcast of all time. No podcast. I heard the ratings are going through the roof, and they'll go even higher now.
Yeah, we have like 5 times the listeners of Joe Rogan. It is insane how many listeners we have according to us. And we have some questions for you, but we're so delighted to have you on the show.
Good
Mr.
morning,
Trump.
sir. It's very similar to your inauguration.
Yes, the greatest,
Yeah.
the biggest inauguration crowd of all time. Thank you.
Would you agree for this podcast, this crowd that's here to listen to your podcast, it's bigger than even the inauguration?
Never been a bigger crowd.
Never been a bigger crowd. Okay, so we have some questions for you because it's a big deal. So there's an invasion going on at the border. There's an invasion, and we want to know what you're going to do about it. There are these small, tiny ants coming into our country and invading my house. How are you going to stop the ants from getting across the Mexican border?
First of all, it's very sad what's happened under Kamala and Biden, but I'm going to deport all of the ants. Lots of ants invading everywhere. They're eating your cats and dogs, and I'm going to be deporting all the ants on day one.
They're eating our picnics. We have other things going on in our country. There's people don't want to talk about climate change, but I know you'll talk about it. The black cloud. There's a black cloud following one of the hosts of our show, and I think it's because of climate change. What will you do about it?
Never been a blacker cloud. Never. Biggest blackest clouds under, but there was no black clouds under me. But under Biden, black clouds everywhere.
Will you get rid of all the blacks clouds?
There'll be no more black clouds under me.
You're against the black clouds.
Sir, I have a healthcare question, if I may.
Sure, but I just want to add that there's good clouds on both sides.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but one of the hosts of this show had a major injury and needs health care. It's a pretty stupid injury, so he kind of doesn't deserve health care. So will you take his health care away from him?
That sounds an awful lot like socialism. I don't know if maybe he should pull himself up by the bootstraps and start his own business.
To be fair, the injury happened when I put weights to my back and tried to pull myself up on my bootstraps with the weights.
Maybe you should start Marc Water or Marc University. Make some money that way.
Was it the weight of the world on your back, or just actual literal weight?
Mr. Trump, we're so delighted to have you on the show. We have a few more questions for you, and then we'll let you go. What else we got, Brian?
Did you hurt your back carrying the show with all these great ideas?
Yes.
I think it was.
By the way, I don't know where Jay is.
No, it was from patting himself on the back.
By the way, this impression is as good as Superman the Clark Kent with just the glasses removed and he's Superman. This is that how
rumor has it somebody might have a cold and can't do his impression today, but
you could have at least put a fogged your face or something so we don't know that it's you doing that.
Good timing for this bit.
Mr. Trump, I have a concern. COVID happened under you. We can always have another pandemic. Will you, if another pandemic happens, will you issue to all Americans pandemic uniforms like our host Jay had?
What the hell are you talking about?
You had a pandemic clothing. You had pandemic clothes. You had COVID clothes.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
What are you talking about?
You
Sir,
had
I
an
have-
outfit.
sir,
You
I
had
have
a
I have
COVID
a real
outfit.
question.
President Trump wears his same blue suit every single day. There was no COVID outfit. I feel like you think you're talking to your regular co-host right now.
Sir, I have a question.
Can't even keep up with his own bit. Yes.
Regardless of whether or not you win the election, which you will, of course.
Of course. Unless it's
and
rigged again.
Regardless of whether or not there's a peaceful transition of power, can you promise today that you will have your followers hang JD Vance?
I mean,
Yeah, if you guys will just murder JD Vance, I think you might have both our votes.
Like, if you promise to kill him as soon as you win, I think you'll probably win.
it's interesting. Please,
Would you like to be subscribed to my newsletter?
I would like to subscribe to your newsletter, please.
My newsletter called Kill JD Vance.
KillJDVance.substack.com.
It's not what you think. Well, it's murdering JD Vance, but it's not exactly what you think.
It also
No,
has
it's immunity. It's immunity.
It's how to kill JD Vance plus some trivia.
Have you completely stopped the impression?
Yes. I can't do
Did
it.
you ever start the impression?
No, I never really started.
I remember Jay many years ago he had a really good Trump impression that he only introduced the day Joe Biden came into office. He's like, I have a really good impression I'm going to do of Donald Trump. He didn't do it until
I'm
Joe.
like, this is a horrible impression. What are you even talking about? The guy in my work does Trump really good, actually.
This is
I have a cold, and this is just I can't manipulate my voice right now.
Jay's impression of Donald Trump is this. Hi, I'm Donald Trump.
I mean, to be fair, that's all your impressions, too.
That is all my. I'm not an impressionist. Apparently, we don't have an impressionist on the show. I thought many years ago your impression of Donald Trump was really good. That you did the day after Donald Trump was no longer in office.
I mean,
What's going on, guys?
Nothing. Just wasting a Saturday morning.
This is a complete waste of time. So I understand. Jay always talks about women having it on easy mode. And you want to explain your women having it on easy mode theory, Jay?
Well, I think you could just look at Hawk to a girl who just made a comment on a video, and she's a multi-millionaire now. She has the #3 podcast with no credentials. She was nobody like 6 months ago. #3 podcast on the
Joe
planet.
Rogan, us, her?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
Us, Joe Rogan, her.
That's what Donald Trump said. Okay, we're number 3.
She's getting close to taking over Brink. Yeah.
So, Bri,
Yeah.
I said to Jay that I think it's really like Hawk to a girl is attractive. I think they have to be at least a 6 on the rating scale to have this life on easy mode. Jay, do you disagree?
I would say the whole life on easy mode, I would agree with that. But there are circumstances where women still have it easier, even if they're like a 2 or a 3.
There's a whole generation of girl. I mean, there's a whole like hot girl on the internet is now like a career aspiration.
Mhm.
It used to just be a fluke thing, and now it's like every like 20, every like 16 to 23-year-old is like, I'm gonna be a hot girl on the internet, and I'm gonna find me a sugar daddy. And it's like,
You know, there's a website called sugardaddy.com.
oh, there's tons of them.
There's tons of them. Like, there's like,
yeah.
it's just being advertised out there that like, hey, I'm a rich guy, hot
Yeah.
girl, and nothing illegal about that. It's just like a normal,
No,
obviously nothing illegal
but-
about it. It's just like a weird dating sites they have
But
out there.
you have to be like semi-attractive to be a sugar baby, because
Right. I mean,
some guy with a ton of money is not gonna walk around with some pig.
I've got $100 million and I want this fat chick. Like, you have to like get in shape if you want my $100 million.
Yeah.
Jay, if you had, okay, so if you guys were single and rich, would you go on sugardaddy.com?
No.
Maybe.
Okay, Bride's the only honest one.
Maybe. If I was like 60, probably.
Okay, so here's what I was thinking about with the life on easy mode, and the reason I brought it up,
Mhm.
because I guess I could start out with politics. There's some rumors against Kamala Harris where people claim that she got where she was. One of her positions she got that helped propel her career, she got through sleeping with someone else. And women in general, moving past politics, women in general, anytime they're in a powerful position, there's always accusations they slept their way to the top. You've heard that before.
Yeah.
And
Say
even
what?
what's up, Bri?
Women sleep their way to the top? I never heard of that.
Yeah, in all industries, there's always like an accusation. Like, and what do you think if you heard a woman slept her way to the top? What's your view on that?
Bri.
Good for her, I guess. I don't know.
So I was just thinking about if it was the other way. So women sleeping to the top. I mean, it's horrible that people would proposition them. Horrible they would have to. Bri left the show. Brian's like, I hate this topic already. So I was thinking about, what if it was the reverse and men had the option to sleep their way to the top?
Had to let the dog in. Sorry.
Okay. And what if men had their option to sleep away at the top? How amazing would it be if they were like, hey, Jay, you know, if you really want to advance and get that raise, you have to sleep with this woman.
Can we call a timeout real quick?
So,
Is this
Sure.
working our way into the Diddy thing? Is that what this is? Or
no, I just
isn't
want to
that
talk
sort
about...
of the accusation that most of these people had to fuck Diddy to get to the top of the rap world?
I wasn't going serious at all. I just want to talk about the fact, like, how interesting would it be in a world where men can sleep their way to the top?
Oh.
I mean, I think nobody would be at the top because everybody would just be sleeping with each other.
You'd be like, wait a second, I can get a raise and fuck you? That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is if the men are at the top, men aren't going to sleep with men to get to the top.
Well, I was thinking more maybe hot chicks to sleep with.
Well, how are they going to get to the top?
Jay comes home to his wife. He's like, hey, so my hot Asian boss, she said I can get that raise. I mean, we need the extra money. All I have to do is sleep with her.
Yeah, but you're in weird scenario. The people are hot. Like, in most scenarios, it's sleeping with like a 60-year-old, like, balding fat dude.
Well, I'm not saying you. I'm saying women. You have to sleep with, like, make it.
Yeah, but the guys
heterosexual.
aren't. Like, you're implying
It's
that
my imaginary hypothetical. Stop ruining it.
it's not like the women
Jay's
are
like,
sleeping
what?
with.
That doesn't make sense. Women don't have powerful positions to begin with.
Well, no, it's not like the women are sleeping with Brad Pitt to move up in the world.
That's true. Okay, let's say you want a big job and you're like, Kamala Harris is your boss, and she's like, Jay, sleep with me and I'll give you the position. What would you say, Jay?
Is this just the plot to Indecent Proposal?
Whatever. you would turn Kamala down? She's like 60.
I don't know. What
If Kat, your wife, is like, Jay, I think you should do this. Like, come on, you got to be motivating your career, Jay. I need you to do this.
I mean, if I have full support and it's a good job, why not, right?
Okay, Jay's finally career oriented.
Where's the shame in it?
Yeah, I just feel like it'd be opposite. It would be almost like men would be like, people would be like, oh, dude, awesome, you slept your way to the top. That's great.
Way to skip 5 years waiting for a promotion.
Dude, that was so smart. I was gonna try to just like work and like get. That's amazing, dude. Like, people would be advertising it. Like, they'd be running and be like, oh, like, how'd you get this? Like, you'd be like, talking to people like, how'd you get the job? I fucked 2 women that were like in my way. It was great. You mean you fucked them over? No, I actually got to fuck them and they gave me promotions and like it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you would do the same.
Yeah, why the hell not? The discussion with my wife would be a little bit awkward. It's easier if you don't have a wife to begin with.
Yeah, definitely.
It also is easier if you happen to have an attractive boss. That would make it a lot easier as well.
It would. Yeah.
You're like, listen, I'm only doing this because I think it's important for our family. I need to get promoted. We have college expenses coming up. It's not because she's drop dead gorgeous. Listen, I know I already gotten the promotion. I wanted to really seal it by doing it 5 extra times.
Right. Just to make sure it sticks.
Just want to make sure. Brian, would you? But Brian, if your boss came, do you have a female boss?
No, not really. I don't really know who my boss is, but none of them are
I was
attractive.
like, who pays me here?
Do
Please.
you even work there, Bri? You're just like, you're like the guy from Office Space where you just
No,
keep showing
I
up.
worked there. I had a meltdown like a month ago, and instead of quitting, they gave me a raise.
Oh, okay.
That works.
I find I'm not sure what Brian here does, or if he does really work. I'm positive Jay doesn't really work. The amount of things he does during the day, he's like, I was uploading old Brink podcasts for 5 hours at work yesterday.
I did it at night. I didn't say I'm doing it during the. Every time I tell you I do something, you're like, you're definitely doing that during work. It's
12
like,
o'clock in the afternoon, Jay's like, hey guys, have you guys watched the Lord of the Ring trilogies recently, like I did today at work?
I like how no matter what I do, you just assume it's at work during the day.
It's an amazing amount of like, have you done? I'm like, Jay, I'm trying to work. How are you do? How did you do this during work?
I'm just gonna start messaging you at night, so you just assume I'm doing it when I'm actually doing it.
Yeah. So right. If you're a female kind of boss, I mean, I guess Jay, would you have a meltdown at work to get a raise? Do you think that would work for you?
Yeah.
I didn't do it to get a raise. I just did it just because. And then the next day they were just like, "Oh, we're gonna give you a raise." It wasn't much. It was like $20 a week or something.
I mean, I've had a
It'd be great
meltdown
if
at
you-
work
it would be
without
great if
getting
it
a
was
raise.
It'd be great if it was a huge raise. They were like, Bry, give you extra $100,000 a month, $100,000 a year.
Here's your name on the company.
You didn't think about going if you. We were waiting for you to lose your mind, and we were going to make you a partner.
Yeah, I mean, I've had meltdowns at work without a raise, so
Didn't work.
I would do it for a raise. Yeah.
What if they gave you an extra $100,000 a year job? How much would that change your life? Do you think you'd be happier? Because people say, once you get a certain income point, more money doesn't actually make you happier. And like there was some study that said after $70,000 a year, you're not happier. And people said like it's really about just like getting a point where you can just afford whatever your cost of living is, you can afford that city. You don't get happier beyond that.
That study was planted by rich people to make people think they'll be happy with $70,000 because that is an absolute lie.
So if you made an extra $100,000 a year, not like how it would change, like how much happier would it actually make you?
Like 1,000,000 times happier. Like it wouldn't even.
You should tell work.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day when I was doing my podcast during work, because Mark thinks I do everything during work, that you should give me 100,000 extra a year, and then I won't do my podcast during work.
How would it change your life?
Wouldn't that be funny though if we were just live streaming this during work?
Jay's like, I don't just do everything during work. I know we're doing the show during work, but
Right.
Jay once asked me if we got to do the show during work though.
I don't
ask me.
No, I did. Are you just
You did.
trying
you
to
did.
get me
You were talking about-
fired?
You were like, you felt like I didn't have enough availability. You're like, hey, what if we do it during work? I'm like, I work during work, and Jay's like, huh?
I think I said during lunch. You do get lunch.
I'm allowed to eat. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Do you take a formal lunch break during your job?
Yeah, I get an hour. I used to go now that I don't. I used to live 10 minutes from my work, so I used to go home for lunch every day. Now I go to there's a movie theater like half a mile from my work, and there's car chargers behind it, so I just go sit in my car and charge my car for an hour.
You don't go into the theater and see Jay at the movies during his work?
I actually,
No, but I'm tempted every day to go buy popcorn. I don't know why I don't go buy popcorn.
I had a coworker at my other job that actually did go to the movies during work.
Really?
Oh, wow.
We had a movie theater like 3 blocks from the office, and he was watching the whole is that Marvel show Agents of Shield. He was just watching that on YouTube, and I guess he finished all like 6-7 seasons, so he decided to just go to the movies.
Jay gets laid off, and he's like, wait, you're laying me off? Pete is at the movies right now seeing Superman versus Batman, and I'm getting laid off?
Exactly. And yeah, that's a good story for all the people who think that people have to go into the office because remote workers slack off. That's what was going on in the office. So there you go.
He's watching Agents of the Marvel whatever during work?
Yeah.
How do you get away with that during work? Like, not at home. I understand at home, but in the office, people are like, why are you eating popcorn? Why are you're staring at...
There was a
Well, I mean,
couple of times a while ago that I would go in early and I watched a couple shows on my computer at work.
yeah, the way that things
were
were
there like at 4?
Oh, I got there like, I don't know, like 6:30 one day like 7 one day. I don't know why. I was just in early. Nobody was there. It was just like it was a random day where like, it was just some weird day where like the people who come in early, like I was the only one there.
Okay.
And I have 2 monitors. So like I had one going on my headphones and I was just working on the other one. And
You were watching a show while doing some work, like...
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
he was not. He was just watching.
No, I was.
No, I mean my coworker. He was not. He was just watching.
Your coworker was not watching, not doing work while watching Agents of the Marvel.
Yeah, the way the office was set up, there was like aisles, and he was at the very end of the aisle, so nobody was behind him. And so he just angled his monitor so that the person on the other side of the aisle couldn't see his monitor, and then he just watched YouTube. And
Jay just like tells his boss he's just sick of it, and the boss is like, "Listen, Jay, we think Pete has a lot of potential. Once he's done with season 4, we expect him to really dive in on the work."
right, season 3 ended on a cliffhanger, so he's got to watch the next 22 episodes.
We get it. It's a pretty good show. I understand why he's watching it.
There's a twist to this story, though. This is the job when Jay worked at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not. This was for $1 billion corporation.
I just think it'd be good. Like Jay's like, they're like, "Jay, you need to stay late for work tonight." The dude's watching. Can't you use the guy watching the goddamn TV shows? Well, Pete had a long day. We can't really have Pete. Like, I mean, the show ended on a cliffhanger. He's got to go home. He's going to come back the next day. Like, we need you to stay late, Jay.
The funny thing is that was actually what happened. I did stay late, and he did leave early watching the shows.
Did he? I know. So did he end up getting laid off before you, or did he outlast you?
He actually found a new job before. He smelled the writing on the wall, and he got a new job before the layoff started.
Jay's like, Coca-Cola? He's an executive there now.
Patty wants to know if
he went to work for the TV company that produces Agents of Marvel. What is this show called?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Patty wants to know if we're in the UK watching the Jets.
That's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, and no.
But if people contribute a little bit more to our Patreon, like, I don't know, a couple extra $1,000 right now, we'll go.
Right.
Right now. It'd be great if you just happen to have, like, we have we have the biggest crowd in the world. But if we had like a couple listeners where one listener happened to be an insane billionaire who's just like, "Hey, let me just make these people do." They said they would go to the Jet game and tomorrow in UK. Let me throw some money there and see if they'll actually do it.
Live. I'd love to do a live show in Australia.
That would be great. What if our insane billionaire listener just said, "Okay, I'm going to test it. $10,000 right now. You guys have to be in the UK tomorrow and do a live show at the Jet game."
I mean, we would have to, right?
We'd have to. I'm just saying, if
so,
there's an insane billionaire, Jay like uploads the show right after the Jet game, and the guy's like, "I would have done it."
Well, if you want to throw me $20,000, you could have the Brink of Sanity card game out by Christmas.
Oh, I thought for $20,000 he could just buy the card game and like bury it. How much would you sell the card game for right now? If someone came to you, I think it's a great idea. I want to buy it for you, like Shark Tank idea. Like, I want to buy, like, I think this is a wonderful idea. I think it's going to be a huge, massive idea. Mm-hmm. But instead of investing, I want to just buy the card game from you. How much do they have to pay you?
I would want one of those deals where it's like
no royalty.
I'd want a royalty deal.
No. The deal is we buy it from you. Brian, how much should Jay? Let's hear Brian for a second. Brian,
right.
How much do you think Jay should sell the card game idea for? 100% sale. He has no interest in it after the sale. What's it worth?
$49.99.
Okay. Is that $4,995?
It is not.
Where is the decimal point? Is it after the 4?
It's between the 9s.
Okay, Jay. So Bry says
you can have this card game for under $50.
So the cost of maybe 2 of the actual card games, you can get the entire game. Jay, would you sell the entire game for $49.95?
Oh yeah, totally. That would be worth a year and a half's worth of work. Definitely.
And you won't get and with the promise not to get sued by any of the games that you're ripping off.
Okay, how about this? It's $49.95, but we tell you afterwards where the decimal point is.
Like Price is Right.
Here's your 49 cents.
Okay, would you sell it for $5,000? $5,000 right now, game over. Or game that the person takes the game and does whatever they want with it. But you $5,000.
No.
$10,000.
No.
You would not sell the game for $10,000. Think how much.
Is that because that's too much money for the game, or you want more money?
Jay's like, I can't do that to you.
Jay's like, no, I'm sorry. It's only worth $1,500. I feel bad taking your $10,000.
Well, Jay, there's a certain amount of money you'd sell the game for, right? We agree on that.
Yeah. Do I get like any?
We offered you $1 billion, you'd sell the game, right?
Well, yeah. Do I get any?
So somewhere
credit?
between $5,000 and $1 billion, there's a number.
Do I get any credit?
Would you sell?
Like, can I put that on my resume? Like, I made this game, Or is
Oh, you
am
can
I like
put
a
more
ghost?
in that sold game before it became $1 trillion game.
Right. Well, no, I'm
No,
just,
no, you get no credit. We're buying credit away from you. We can report that you sold the game. Okay, you made it, you created it, and you sold it. That's all that gets reported. Just like the guy who made Monopoly, who no one's ever heard of, who sold it to Mattel
his name was
or
Milton. His name was Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley, whatever. I have no idea. I made that story up. Okay, but you get Jay. You get no real credit for it. But you get the money. So it's just the money. It's just a money deal. No one gives a shit about your creative ideas. By the way, I wrote a bunch of those things. I don't give a shit about it. You can keep all the money.
Patrick said, "Would I sell
Mark's
the game?"
number 0.
Yeah, I will take the 4995 wherever you put the decimal points.
All right, Jay. Here we go. This is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
You can sell. You can sell the game and this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take $49.99 for it?
Can I throw in the
Yeah.
newsletter?
Considering
so-
you know the game might be 50 grand and the podcast is probably minus 60 grand. So
net even.
You know.
Okay, yeah. So let's say the investors were there's a Shark Tank thing. By the way, Jay has a game he's coming out with. Explain the game real quick.
it's a game.
It's 6 categories. It's got Brink humor, but it's 6 categories that people are familiar with. Would you rather, Two Truths and a Lie, Pictionary, Charades, Taboo, and Top Fives. So
A social card game, very funny.
So it's
Jay is
like,
doing a newsletter. and we'll
Cranium
launch the
meets
game
Cards
soon.
Against Humanity. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can subscribe to the Substack, Brink of Sanity .substack, the Brink of Sanity.
The Brink of Sanity
.substack.com.
It's a free
And you
newsletter. There's some
Okay.
good stuff in there. I release it 3 times a week. So appreciate it if you subscribe to that.
Okay, so the investor's like, you know what? I can't just invest in one of these properties. I need the newsletter, the game, the podcast, all 3 of them combined. I need everything Brink.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you $50.
You know somebody would turn it into like millions of dollars just to like ruin my life.
You couldn't turn it into less. How about, okay, let's make a real offer. Bright, let's make a real offer. Come on, give a higher number here. You get all 3 properties. You get the newsletter,
Do you get the Knicks
podcast,
too?
and the game.
Do you get the Knicks?
Are we selling the Knicks? I think maybe this is just Brink.
This is the Brink Enterprise, the Brink.
The Brink, and you get one night with his.
Brink
and you get-
LLC.
You get the podcast, the newsletter, the game, and one night with Jay's wife.
So the catch is when you get all this stuff, you actually have to do it all.
No, you can do whatever you want with it. I assume you're buying it to do something with it, though. Okay.
Yeah.
So
All right,
Okay,
I'm
how-
gonna tweak my offer, Jay. For $49.99, you also get a copy of the game.
well,
You get your own game.
okay.
Like the box. You get your own like.
Mhm.
You'll get the first one off the processor.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a real offer. Jay, what if the offer was 20 grand, $20,000? Not life-changing money, but how a big difference that would make for you, right? Getting 20 grand.
Patrick said, "Can they throw in Brunchaholics too?"
Jay loves music.
Jay loves music.
Jay loves
Jay
music.
loves music. Every shitty idea that's failed. Can they get? Jay's putting out a horror podcast soon. Can they get that also?
Get the rights
All
to
right,
that
here's
before
my
you go
offer.
in.
Here's my offer. I got to think about this for a second.
$49.95.
By the way,
No, no,
Brian and I
no.
aren't making real offers.
No,
we're
no,
not
we're gonna
actually,
make-
we're not
I'm
actually
gonna-
gonna pay you, Jay.
I'm going to make a unique offer. Hold on here. Let me get my calculator out here.
You get one night with Brian's wife.
Price okay.
Brian's like, I'm not even taking that offer.
All right. Brink.
Mhm.
Brink game. The newsletter. Jay loves music. Brunchaholics. I don't know what else. That monkey guy in the back.
Okay.
No money. $0.
Hmm.
You're going with how much it's worth?
Your own personal car service so that you never have to take the subway ever again for the rest of your life.
Ooh. So anywhere he wants to drive at any time of day, there's a limo waiting outside to take him.
Some kind of car. I don't know about a limo. We'll see. how the game-
Okay. A Nissan Altima from 2015. That's my car. They'll take you anywhere.
Never have to get on the subway again.
A 2004 Kia will be waiting
2000
for me.
with a female Asian driver. Well, no, that'll get you killed probably. We don't want
A
that.
2008 Volvo that has not passed inspection.
I don't see how this is beneficial at all.
Well,
You don't have to
take the
drive
subway.
anymore. You don't have to drive anymore. You don't have to take the subway anymore.
You
I don't
never have
go-
to go on a subway. It's Jay versus the subway for years. It's been Jay versus the
Well,
subway.
now I live off the Metro North, so I'm all fancy pants now.
Okay. Bry's offers did not work out.
Although I
Okay,
did take the subway for the first time in a while 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, and it didn't work. And it took me 2.5 hours to get home. So I must be closer to batting 0% than I am to batting 100% with the subway working.
Okay, I got it. All Brink properties, and you get one night with Olivia Munn, and your wife's approval.
The deal
Keep in
isn't.
mind, she just popped out another kid, so.
Well, I think they had a surrogate
You
for
get
that
her
one.
after she gets back in shape.
She also had a double mastectomy.
Okay, you get her from 20 years ago. Come on, let's not use facts.
It's not happening anyway, Jay, so just go with it.
Right. She's
Jay's
still
like, I don't know. She's gained some weight and she doesn't look as good anymore. How about
still
you get
way
her
out
from when she was on Newsroom, or Attack the Show? You get her from Attack the Show, okay? And she's really into.
Did you say Attack
Tyson
the
Jay,
Show?
a podcast. Was she on Attack the Show or Attack the?
Attack of the Show,
that the
not
show?
Attack the Show.
I don't.
Show.
Agents of the Shield agents. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I meant. You get her in her prime.
Okay, this is getting like just ridiculous.
Really? I was talking about selling your shit. Okay, okay. I want to get a number here though. 50 grand. 50 grand. Would that be enough to sell all the properties?
100 grand.
100 grand.
Yes.
You are valuing these 3 podcasts. I got to get more for 100 grand. Do I get the Nick show also?
Yeah, you could have the next. I mean, we're ending it soon anyway, so you can have that.
Okay. Do we get a night with your wife?
No,
Okay. How much for the night with your wife?
I didn't know you felt this way about my wife.
I'm
All
just
right,
talking about like just a
How about
random
this? How about
buyer. 100 grand for the show?
It's
You
all
really
the
would turn down.
properties.
You would turn down 50 grand for just the Brink shows,
Well, yeah.
show, the newsletter, everything. You would turn down $50,000.
Yes.
I happen to know some high-level Jewish doctors and scientists, okay? And they
Do they run the
secretly-
world?
they don't run the world, but they've secretly
They're on the board, though.
There is a big secret. There is a cure to a lot of things out there. So I will sell you, or you will sell me.
Hang on. Are you spreading the lie that the Jews have like secret cures to things they're not giving out? I really, as a Jewish member of the show, I really appreciate this. Go
You're
on.
inferring that's on you. I will gladly accept 100% of Brink LLC, and in turn, my secret team of doctors will give you the cure for central sleep apnea.
Oh yeah, how's that? I mean, forget the Jew. I don't know why you had to even say the Jewish part, but you get your apnea is cured. We found the cure for it. We're only giving out to a select few.
Because it
You
would
get
sound
the-
more realistic if I had a Jewish doctor.
It does sound a little more realistic. You could have had an Asian doctor, an Indian doctor, just not like a white male Christian doctor. You don't want those. Jay, you get the cure for apnea, sleep apnea for all the properties.
That I would do.
No surgery required.
Yeah, that I would do.
What if you had to wear whatever that's been inserted in Jay? I mean, Bry. Bry, you have like a microchip inserted in you, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, what was it called? The
Inspire.
Inspire.
Yeah.
Do you feel that in yourself?
Yeah, you could, if you touch right here, you could feel like it's, like, you could feel it there. Yeah.
He's touching, for audio listeners, he's touching his chest. Yeah.
And then if I move my neck, you would see the cord go up, but I don't think you could see it.
It's like a cord inside his body
It
that
goes
helps
from
like
here to here.
it's supposed to basically when you stop breathing in the middle of the night. Sleep apnea is something where you stop breathing during the night. When you stop breathing, it's supposed to give you like little stimulations to get you to breathe again, which helps you sleep better, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this thing is supposed to sync with your breathing when you fall asleep, and it moves your tongue forward so that it sends. There's a pulse here that syncs with there's a thing here, runs a wire to like your lungs, and then a wire up here.
From his chest to his mouth.
Chest to his neck,
head,
under my chin. and it sends like a vibration to keep your tongue moving forward, so that keeps your throat open.
I really want to meet the
Throat doesn't
person.
like because when you have sleep apnea, your throat like closes, so this keeps it open.
I want to meet the person that has the Inspire thing installed in their body, but won't get the COVID vaccine. They're like, I don't want that in my body.
I had no idea there was like wires and stuff. I thought it was just a chip.
No,
I read about it. That's how I knew
it's
about it.
like this big. It's like
Oh,
If you say this big again, remember we have audio listeners.
it's like
The size, like half the size of the phone.
yeah, it's like maybe
the size
half
of a
the
credit
your
card.
fist. It's like a flat little thing. I could feel it sticking out.
Oh, I'm
And got a wire up here. They have to they undo your tongue like in the surgery.
I'm way all out on this one.
They
I had
slice
no
open-
idea
yeah,
it
I
was
don't
this
think you can
bad.
see it anymore, but yeah. So the wire goes to like here.
No,
And
absolutely
then the other
not.
wire goes down here to like your lungs.
Okay, the commercial basically for the Inspire thing is that like they're like, you have Inspire installed. They don't really explain it. You just press a button at night to turn it on, and
Yeah.
oh, I'm sleeping so well. This was so easy. They
Yeah.
don't talk about having this machine installed in your body.
This extensive surgery where they like slice your neck open and like mess with your nerve behind your tongue.
I mean, the commercial got me interested. Then Bri was going to do it, so I actually read about it. Like, it sounded very invasive.
Yeah, and then they give you this thing. It's about the size of a mouse. This isn't it. This is my mouse, but it's about the size of a mouse. And it has like a sensor in it. So you put it against your thing and press a button. It turns it on, and you feel this little in your.
Oh, you have to
tongue.
put the sensor against your chest to turn it on. It's not just
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
something
You
like
press it up like that. Push. I can go get it. You want to do it? You can hear the beep.
This is
No, you don't.
horrifying. You hear a beep inside you?
No, the thing beeps, but your tongue moves real quick. You hear like that. and
Oh
then-
my god.
you press the button, you hear.
No, your tongue like here. Hold on. I'll go get it.
I am. This is
By the way,
terrifying.
doesn't that sound so horrifying?
This
I
sounds-
can't believe Bri did this.
I can't either. Like this sounds beyond terrible.
People say you can feel it inside you. I mean, because Bri can feel it. It's like it's a weird thing to feel like
When
something
I wake
besides your
when I
body
wake up in the
inside
middle
you.
of the night, like I could like when I first got it. So this is the remote.
Oh, it
the
does look
remote
like a
kind of
mouse.
again, we have audio listeners only.
Yeah, so it looks like a mouse.
It looks like a mouse for like a computer
So you put it up here, press the button,
against his chest.
and then real quick.
Your tongue has like a spasm.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And then what happens from there?
And then
By the
there's
way,
hold on.
this is just an opinion about Inspire. Please don't sue us for
Okay,
whatever
I
we
turned it
say
off.
about
I had
you.
to turn it off for the one. No, so there's
Bri's
a
a happy
delay.
customer. Okay, don't sue us.
There's a delay on it, so because it's not supposed to start working until you fall asleep.
Oh, how?
Because I can't fall asleep, so my delay is an hour and 75 minutes. So I turn it on, and then 75 minutes is when it kicks in, and my tongue it'll start opening my airwaves or
It
whatever.
doesn't put you to sleep though. Like
No, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything. All it does is it moves your tongue. It doesn't put you to sleep. It doesn't keep you asleep. It's a little misleading.
so, if you put it on now, all that would happen. What would happen if you're just awake for the next like it comes on? You're awake for you're awake the rest of the next 8 hours. What
It
would
happens-
actually happen?
Well, in an hour and 5 minutes or an hour and 10 minutes, my tongue will start it'll voluntarily move my tongue forward, and I'll feel like it happens to me every night because it takes me that much longer to fall asleep.
Okay, so your tongue moves forward. So I guess like
And then
Doesn't
if
it-
I talk, it sounds like I had a stroke. Like
so can we play a game where we have like people we have recordings of people and we have to guess like stroke victim or happy Inspire customer.
so it's not supposed to work, and it's not supposed to kick in until you fall asleep. That's what the timer's for. But a lot of times it takes me at least 2 hours to fall asleep. So I'll be laying there and it kicks in, and I'm like, oh, it's been an hour, okay. And then I'll turn it off, turn it back on, and then if I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, like I could feel it, like it's supposed to sync with your breathing. So every time you breathe, it moves your. But when you wake up, your breathing is different than when you're sleeping.
I don't like this at all. Patty says a lot of politicians have those, but they're connected from the vocal cords to the asshole.
I'm just like Jay wears so Jay, you wear the CPAP thing, like you wear basically the Bane mask at night.
Yeah.
Which sounds I have to say the Bane mask doesn't sound great, but it does sound better than whatever contraption Bri has in his body.
It sounds
Jay,
way
does
better.
your mask like track like apneas and stuff, or
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a fancy one. See, my old machine was so old it never did, and so like I've been sleeping like shit lately, even with this. So I actually just bought a what's it called, an Aura ring that I just put on like 2 days ago.
Oh, I've heard of those. What do they do?
It's essentially like a Fitbit or like an Apple Watch, but it's a ring, and you just it
Oh.
has a sensor in it, and it just tracks your heart, your breathing, your sleep the same way like a Fitbit would. But I guess it's slightly more accurate to wear on your finger. I just
And
got
what
this,
do you
I
and
got
what do
it
you
Thursday.
what metrics do you get out of it that are helpful for life?
Well, I want to see if I'm having apneas when I sleep still because of this thing.
Bri just gets an
okay.
email in the morning that says, "Holy shit, you're still alive."
The email every morning just says, "If you're reading this, we're shocked."
I literally just got this on Thursday, so it's funny because I bought it.
I have a question for you. Can I answer Brian a question? Hold up your hands for a second. I know the viewers can't see this, but hold up both hands. You have two hands, Brian. Okay, so what I want to point out to our listeners, and maybe our viewers too, is that Bri here has gotten married, won't wear a wedding ring, but will wear an Aura ring.
No, I don't wear it around the house. She tells me I don't have to wear it around the house. When we go out, I put it on, but
Oh, okay.
yeah,
We're
no.
going out, Bri. We're going out. You wear that ring. You don't put that goddamn ring on now.
No. Around the house, there's no reason to wear it. So
I don't need to prove I'm married inside the house. That was the deal we made.
the dogs know. The dogs have seen the picture, so there's no reason to.
You have to absentmindedly forget to put the ring on. So I have a ring. I got it in platinum because I was told platinum. There's no degrading. Nothing you don't have to clean it. It's just gonna be like it's just gonna stay as it is. And I wear it all the time because I would forget it if I took it off. So I have it literally 24 hours a day, every day. Do you ever forget it when you go out of the house?
My wedding ring's enormous, so I know when I don't have it on.
Let's see it. You want to go grab it?
Yeah, we're gonna hold on.
We're gonna have Bri show us different things from his house during
Yeah,
the show.
show and tell.
It's show.
Every episode now, we just get Bri to show us stuff.
Bri, are there any stuffed animals your wife has in the house? Can we see those?
I see his dog following him back and forth when he's walking.
Ghost dog.
Ghost
Ghost
dog.
dog.
That is ghost dog.
Let's see here for people viewing online. That is a big wedding ring.
So it's
That's bigger than
mine's
the
not as big.
other thing. Yeah.
Okay, so Bri, I imagine sometimes you forget the ring when you leave the house.
only a couple of times. Actually, I forgot it at work one day because I took it off because I was like folding papers and it kept getting caught on it. So I took it off and I forgot to bring it home.
So does your wife ever give you shit like you guys are out and she's like, "You're not wearing your ring"?
No, not really.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a running joke. Like, we're going out. Okay, we're going out. Do we need our rings?
Oh, she takes hers off also?
Yeah.
So you both come in the house and you're like, "Okay, ring off. I'm done with the charade."
So we have like the little key thing and the little ring thing, just all right.
You drop the rings.
We're checking. Yeah.
Jay, can I see your hand? Jay has no ring on either. What is with both of you guys? Jay, so Bri has a no ring indoor policy with his wife follows as well.
Yeah.
What about you, Jay?
No ring.
Why is there no ring? So I have my ring on, wear it all the time.
Yeah, no,
I
there
don't
is
want
no
people knowing
ring.
I'm married.
There is no ring.
There's no ring at all.
There's no ring.
You never got a ring.
No, I decided to save 20 grand and not get a ring.
I don't. The men's rings aren't 20 grand. I think.
Yeah. I got
That would be a really nice ring for a man.
Yeah, this was $200. You could get it and it'll keep you healthy.
Right? How much was the Aura ring? $200?
It's $299 actually, but I use my HSA on it, so
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But Bri, how much was your wedding ring?
Like a 400, I think.
Yeah, I think mine was like $600. So but Jay,
400.
yeah, Jay, how much do you think these rings cost for men?
Well, I was thinking for women. For men, like, okay, get me a PlayStation 5 instead.
Well, you have to wear the PlayStation 5 on your wedding ring.
I mean, like,
wedding thing.
it's
Jay,
just a
Jay,
ring.
would you sell Brink for a PlayStation 5?
Well, I already have a
you say?
PlayStation 5, but when the 6 comes out, well, we can revisit this conversation.
Does your wife have a wedding ring?
No.
Okay, what if they said, I guess there's an engagement ring
Would
also
you,
and
all
a
right,
wedding
would you
ring.
sell Brink to get her an engagement ring?
That's where it's going. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you? She's like, I have an offer to have an engagement ring and a wedding ring. All you have to do is sell Brink. Would you do it?
No, it's a waste of money.
Would you say that to her face?
Yeah.
You having a ring is kind of a waste of money here.
Yes,
You
she
can get-
agrees. It's a waste of money.
You didn't get her any kind of ring. You could get you don't have to get a diamond ring. You get like a less expensive ring.
Get her a Green Lantern ring.
Yeah, I didn't spend 20 grand.
Yeah,
I
let's
look
make
close.
I got a diamond ring for my wife, and I didn't spend 20 grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get a lab-grown diamond that they're even less expensive.
Patrick wants to know your top 3 table sauces.
Did we do this one already or not?
I don't think we did.
Okay, top 3 table sauces. I'm gonna go with an old favorite for number 1, ketchup.
Pretty
I feel
much
like
all I would use for a table sauce. I don't know what's considered a table sauce.
I mean, my
Any
number
sauce
one's
you put on food.
my number one's hot sauce. I put that on almost everything.
Maybe hot sauce would be good. Which hot sauce?
I use Frank's a lot, but I switch around too.
Tabasco.
I don't like
what's the,
not Tabasco. I like the pepper-based hot sauces, not the vinegar-based ones.
what's the one the Asian one
Sriracha.
Sriracha.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Sriracha's not bad, but yeah, I like.
Frank's hot sauce.
Yeah, Frank's has like an extra hot version of that. I like that.
Okay, Brian, what's your next sauce?
I mean, I don't really use much, but I guess just barbecue sauce.
I'm gonna go with soy sauce because I'm a big fan of sushi.
Okay. Spicy mayo.
I would put spicy mayo in my top 3 least favorite.
Really?
Yeah, when people anytime they like we're gonna put spicy mayo on that, I'm like, how about you not?
I guess buffalo sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But how much stuff do you put buffalo sauce on?
Everything.
I like it for like fries and stuff, like dip stuff in it.
Okay. I did sauce. Okay, so I did so far soy sauce, ketchup, and my third one would be vinegar.
So Mark's top 3 are like my bottom 3.
I don't know, like on a salad, I like vinegar on a salad.
Are you cleaning your shower head?
I don't know, like
What are you doing?
a good vinegar basically is a good. I don't know what else would I put up there. I'm not putting up buffalo sauce even though it's good. Barbecue sauce I don't have that much. I probably use vinegar more than if I'm ever having a salad or something. I'd put like a vinegar, like oil and vinegar on there.
Yeah, all right.
Honey
That makes a
mustard.
Honey mustard.
Honey mustard.
It's a solid choice. I'm not going to ridicule that choice.
You could tell the difference in me and Mark's diets by the sauces we chose.
I had someone who explained to me that ketchup is basically pure like sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never. And since they said that to me, I'm like, God, you fucking have ruined ketchup for me. Thank you so much.
Patty also said vinegar is a condiment, not a sauce. So you failed this
So
experiment.
is ketchup. I mean, they're all condiments.
They're all this. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but vinegar recently transitioned to being a sauce.
Patrick wants to know when the Jay versus Mark roast battle is going to happen.
Is that
Isn't
every
it
show?
happening every show?
Yeah, it's called the Brink of Sanity episodes
Yeah.
100 through 400.
Jay gets ridiculed so much in the show, and he won't sell it. He's like, I need 100 grand not to be ridiculed.
Who else is going to abuse me for free? Seriously.
Bri, you had a top whatever you wanted to do.
Oh yeah. Well, actually had a couple. I had the sports one too. If you guys want to do that one instead.
Which is why don't you give us the 2 of them, and we'll choose one of them for this episode.
All right. Well, the sports one is the top 5 most annoying like sports like phrases that people use, and the other one is music related. It's sort of like top 5, like bands or artists that based on what you like for music, bands that you like should like but don't. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whichever one you want to do.
The first one, I don't know if I necessarily have phrases, but I have things that people like topics people say basically things that
But
people
yeah, I
generally
mean,
say.
like like quotes or like
Just things people kind of
descriptions
say
or
in
whatever,
sports.
yeah.
I'm going to paraphrase people, but I would do how about the first one, Jeff?
I mean, I like the music one better, but okay.
Okay, I'll do the sports one, and Jay does the music one. Who gives a shit?
Total Mark top 5. Can we
Okay,
start
I'm gonna
backwards
I'm
too?
gonna start with.
Can we start with number
anytime-
1?
I'm gonna start with my number whatever. I'm gonna start with number 3 on my list. Anytime an athlete thanks God for his performance, anything with God, I'm like, God doesn't give a shit about your sports performance. Please don't. You don't need to involve God in the fact that you ran 3 yards for a touchdown. God did not help you kick that field goal. God did not help you hit that home run. God doesn't give a shit.
I'm going to go with
Good, Jay?
the GOAT. People would throw that around way too much, way too easily.
Jay, I thought you were gonna do the music one.
No.
Come on, do the music one.
No.
It works better if you do a completely different top 5.
Bri.
He's him.
He's hip.
Oh, him. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
him.
Yeah. When they
It's
say
so
like they're
fucking
like
stupid.
like when Brunson
It
was
doesn't even
like
make sense.
when Jalen Brunson was playing first playing really well for the Knicks, people were like Brun's him. They're like he is him.
He's him.
And the idea is that like for people that don't get it is that like he is the guy. He is the man basically. They're saying like praising him by saying he is him. He is the guy.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
I hate when a reporter says, "How did you feel when they scored that? When they did anything basically negative? Like, how did you feel when they scored those runs? Not why are you asking me this? How did you feel when you gave up that home run?
I'm gonna
Or
go
the
with
reverse. How did you feel when you hit the home run? Happy?
expanding on that. Any sort of halftime or post game interview, because they're all just like inane questions like, "Oh, you're up by 5. Why don't you walk us through that bucket you got?" And it's like, I don't know. I took the shot and it
tell
went
him
in.
that.
I shot the ball and it went in.
Yeah.
I want to tell a Mets thing real quick. So the Mets are in the playoffs.
Sorry,
right
we're
now.
out of
They're-
time.
this will be short. So I had to on game 3. The Mets had an elimination game against the Brewers, but because it was the Rosh Hashanah holiday, I had to go to my family for Rosh Hashanah. And so the last hour and I had about an hour and a half drive back. So the last hour and a half of the game, I was listening on the radio. I'm a huge Met fan, but like I wish I could make my son a Mets fan. My son claims to root for the Yankees, doesn't really like baseball, just can't get into the Mets at all. And my wife doesn't really care. My daughter doesn't really care. So I'm the only one that really cares about the Mets. The Mets had a dramatic home run. Alonso hit a 3-run home run. It was super dramatic. It was super awesome. In the car, I'm like, yes. And my son's like, Dad, who cares? Why are you cheering? My wife's like, what? You're gonna wake our daughter. I'm like, something big happened. She's like, come on, you. I so badly wanted to celebrate, and my rest of my family could not give a shit.
That's why I don't have a family.
Though earlier in the game, the Mets had gave up 2 home runs. I was very despondent. It looked like the game was over. During that point, my son was like, good, they're gonna lose. I'm like, this you're happy for?
Mr. C's hates the winningest whatever. They do that. They like manipulate. It'll be like the winningest guy on a Wednesday during a full moon that had 3 touchdowns, and like every game has to be like a stat, a record breaking stat. Patty doesn't like on to the next game, and it's a process.
To the next game.
And it's a process.
It's a process. That is said a lot. Do you like when they say like we knew who they were, like the Dennis Green thing? They are who we thought they are.
That doesn't bother me now.
They wanted it more.
I like that one. I like the reference.
They wanted it more. I don't like that one.
They wanted, yeah. Brian, you have more?
Yeah, the big one I can't stand anymore. Let's go. Every fucking 2 minutes, it's let's go this and let's go that.
You like with the Mets one? They've added the F word to it, so let's fucking go Mets. LFGM.
Oh, you got a first out. Let's go.
I like when they
started it and it just won't die.
Well, it's usually the guy who like hits a shot and then says "Let's go."
But now it's like everywhere. Like I was at the casino and somebody got like a good hand. It's like, oh, let's go.
Well, I also hate when the announcers do the analysis and like the pregame analysis, and most of it comes down to them being like, the other team might have to score more points today.
Yeah.
Oh, you think getting touchdowns would be helpful in football? That's great. That's a great point you made there. They're going to try to get to the end zone today.
You have any more?
I have one more.
All right.
Do it. Brian, let's go.
Chip.
Oh,
The word
like championship.
is championship.
Yeah.
It's not chip. If it's so fucking important to win a championship, don't shorten the fucking word. You won the championship. You didn't win the fucking chip. I fucking hate that.
What about ship?
I don't know what that is.
What is that?
It's just the last 4 words of championship.
We won a ship?
I saw somebody post that the other day.
Michael Jordan won 6 ships. And people are like, I didn't know he was in the shipping industry.
I'm sure he does have 6 ships, but
He
not
might.
basketball related. So
You know, he was trying to sell his house for like 15 to 20 years.
yeah,
Like, I don't know why. It's just weird. He had a whole giant mansion property that was going for like $20 million that was on the market for like 20 years.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy that there wasn't a lot of people that had an extra $25 million to buy his mansion.
Well, if Jay would ever sell all the Brink properties, he'd have that property.
That is true. Lorenzo writes,
Jay, would you take?
Would you
that-
sell Brink for a Knicks chip?
no.
Holy shit!
Jay, Mark, would you sell it for a Mets chip?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll just sell it if they make it to the next round.
Mark's like, I'll sell it if Jay asks me to record again in the next 6 weeks.
Mark, are you going to one of the games?
I think I want to wait for next round.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, I feel like they're really gonna make it to the next round. I can only spend so much money. I'd rather go see them.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, I might as well wait. Because here's the thing: I don't want to go Tuesday. I'd rather go Wednesday. And if I buy tickets for Wednesday, then I know Wednesday won't happen.
I also kind of want to see what happens. Like, first of all, the Mets lose.
This is
today, tomorrow.
very
I don't think
fascinating, guys. This is very interesting.
I figure I'm going to spend like $300 on a ticket. It's going to be freaking crazy. So,
Jay, all right. Would you sell Brink to Mark and myself?
okay, you get 2 people you know will do a lot with the brand.
Mark and I will buy Brink. We will never say the word Mets again.
I mean, you guys probably wouldn't even be able to figure out how to get a podcast up on the website. So,
It's fine. Wouldn't change the downloads.
or you guys would turn it into a Mets podcast.
That would be a good. Brian, if you want to do a Mets podcast, I would do that.
Our email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, have you watched the new Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix? It was a great recap of the WWE/F since the 80s, especially behind the scenes stuff, even if you aren't a wrestling fan. 6 episodes."
I was told it was really good.
Yeah,
I've
I
not
haven't
watched it, but it isn't in my mental queue.
Yeah, I think I queued up for it. I didn't watch it yet. I'm still
I'll
like,
try to watch it before I cancel Netflix, but I've heard good things about it.
By the way, Brian, I don't think you're. I don't know if you know, like the Supreme Court ruled you're not allowed to cancel Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like you have to have it. You can't. That and Amazon Prime, you're no longer allowed to cancel.
Well, I need the free shipping. I'm never going to cancel that.
I'll give a show recommendation. I only watched 1 episode so far, but the Penguin on Max HBO. First episode was pretty good.
Colin Farrell, right? That the one?
Yeah. Jay, you watching? You gonna watch the Penguin?
no.
By the way, Jay, one of Jay's favorite shows, maybe your favorite show ever is Blacklist.
I mean, it's up there, yeah.
Okay, I'm like maybe 5 episodes in the season 2. I think I give up. Can you just tell me what happens?
You're done?
I maybe I'll go back to it. It's hard to get through. It's a well done, well produced show. I'm just having trouble getting through episodes.
It's not a good sign.
Bri, you watched it's
No, my dad used to watch it. He really liked it. He told me I should watch it, but I never did.
I mean, it's kind of like Law and Order if it was like based on international
Yeah.
conspiracies, and it's like every episode there's like, ooh, supervillain, ooh, we defeated him in 45 minutes. They have overarching plots which are mildly interesting. So I kind of want to know like the relationship between the FBI agent and James Spader. James Spader's awesome. I'd like to know their relationship, what the deal is with that. But it's so many episodes. I wish each season was like 10 episodes. Like 24 episodes is so much content to watch that nothing happens for most of the episodes.
It is a big commitment.
It's a lot of episodes. I got like season 1 was like a whole, like Jay says that it really gets good in season 2, which I'm hoping that happens soon.
Yeah, the long seasons are not for everybody. I was watching Prison Break with my wife last week.
Yeah.
And she was loving it. We got up to like episode 14 and she's just like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I'm done.
How many episodes are there for that show?
22. It's the same as Blacklist.
It's supposed to be
All those older shows. They like when I just started rewatching Arrested Development. I don't remember the first season being 22 episodes.
Oh, was it?
Now it takes like 3 years to come out with 6 episode seasons.
You know, I was shocked. I learned recently that Doogie Howser was only on the air for like 3 seasons. It seemed like there were 150,000 episodes, but apparently it only
All
aired for
those
3
shows, like
seasons.
Alf, yeah, they were only on like 3 years.
Well, if you
Yeah,
look
it
at
was
like cartoons, like He-Man was on like 2 seasons.
No.
Yeah,
It only was on 2 seasons?
yeah.
Was each season 100 episodes?
One season was, I think, 65 episodes.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I follow something on Facebook, and like every day it posts like today, like I think it was like yesterday or Thursday, like today Charles in Charge premiered. It ran for 2.5 seasons on whatever channel.
No.
Really? That was on.
2.5 seasons?
No, I don't remember what it was, but
Okay,
it said
okay.
that it was on one channel and it got canceled and it got redone by a different company with a whole different family. I don't
Yeah,
remember
because
that.
it had like there was like the pre Nicole Eggert and then the Nicole
Yeah.
Eggert years.
Yeah.
yeah. He-Man was 2 seasons, 130 episodes.
I mean, that's a lot of episodes.
It is.
That's a lot of cartoons.
That's why I was confused with He-Man. I was like, thought it was on forever. Well, it kind of was.
Damn.
But Doogie Howser, I was like, really? There's like 3 seasons. I mean, I might be maybe it's 4 seasons, but like there were so few
Yeah,
seasons.
no,
I
it
guess
wasn't long.
each season being 20 episodes makes it seem like a lot longer. But I think most shows now should be like 10 episodes. You can just get rid of the filler and
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. A lot of these, I feel like I complain about like the 6-episode seasons. A lot of those I feel like have filler in them. I don't know. Maybe it's just bad writing lately.
every time I read a book, I'm like, there's like any nonfiction book, I'm like, there's 15 pages of interesting stuff and then filler.
You know, the Transformers is only 3 seasons.
Really?
I mean, technically it's a 4th season, but it has 3 episodes.
How many episodes were in a season of Transformers?
All over the place. 16, 49, 30, and 3.
I still can't get over it. There was the who's the actor from Two and a Half Men that had his own show? The crazy
Charlie
one.
Sheen?
Yeah,
Charlie
Charlie
Sheen.
Sheen. His show that had 100 episodes in a season.
Yeah, that's like
Oh,
the
anger
one.
management?
Yeah,
Anger
yeah.
Management had one season that had like 100 episodes.
Yeah, Anger Management has the weirdest. Season 1, 10 episodes. Season 2, 90 episodes. And that's
I
it.
don't
He
know
had a
anyone
hit-
that ever watched an episode of it.
He had it 100 episodes, I think, for syndication, and
Yeah.
he got like a huge deal, like a huge bonus for getting there. So they just did 1,000,000 episodes for season 2.
Which is insane to me. Who's
Has
watching?
anyone ever watched it? Have you guys ever seen it? I've never seen it.
I've never.
I
saw.
haven't seen it, but I'm curious what they did with the show to have like 90 episodes in a season. What plot lines were they coming up with anymore? Okay, now you're angry at the grocery store. Now you're angry at the gas station.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. It's got to be terrible.
Oh, it's got to be so terrible. It's got to be the worst. But I'd like to see not episode 90, not episode 1 of that season, episode 65, when they're really just like, whatever, let's get the shit done.
I mean, he's all coked up, so they probably filmed like 8 episodes in a day.
Probably.
Just like it's totally. You find out it's just incoherent storylines, but no one's ever even seen it to find out.
Right.
There's a whole episode where he's talking about how the moon landing's fake, but again, no one's ever seen it, so they don't have no idea.
So I guess it just ran for like a year and a half, and they showed it like twice a week.
Yeah. You know, Growing Pains was only 1 season.
Wow. I guess.
I made that up. I have no idea.
Oh. I'm gonna guess 4 seasons.
No,
That could be
probably
right.
9.
I'm gonna guess 7 seasons. I think Growing Pains was on for a while. I think
7.
Rye's right.
7.
Okay. Nailed it.
Yep.
Are we running? How long's the show been on? So we're probably running to the end of the show now.
Yeah, we have one more email from Lorenzo. He says, "Do you think the character Popeye was pushed through the spinach industry?"
Do you know Popeye ran for 15 seasons? Each season was 3 episodes. Facts made up by Marc.com.
He was an industry plant.
Can I start a conspiracy theory before we wrap up?
So
Yeah.
hang on to go to the conspiracy. Do you think spinach industry made Popeye? What do
Is
you
there a
think?
spinach industry?
I mean, there is a spinach industry. It didn't really help, I guess, but it probably. I'm assuming Popeye helped spinach sales. Absolutely.
Spinach seems bigger now than it was then because everyone's having like spinach salad and shit like that. But like when we were kids, it was just canned the spinach.
Right.
Do you remember? I think maybe it was George Bush, the senior, who said he didn't like broccoli, and the broccoli industry lost their minds. They're like, how could the president say that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
remember
Jay.
that either. But yeah, back then it was just like basically canned spinach.
Yeah, it was gross. It was all watery. And...
Yeah,
I mean, regular spinach isn't like delightful.
it's way better than the canned stuff.
It's all dry crap. I don't know. I've never had even regular spinach where I'm like, oh, thank you for adding this dry piece of leaf to my salad. This
Don't
is
you
great.
eat like kale? You're talking about a different leaf that's on your leafy salad?
I don't have that much salad.
I mean, you eat like kale and shit, and you're like complaining
Just
about
because I
spinach.
eat green things, Jay's like, what? Why would you eat something that's green? I eat mostly black beans, so, and they're delicious. Don't ever say anything bad about black beans. Brian, you okay there? Is your machine inside you
Sorry.
killing you?
Yeah.
Before the show ends, Brian, can you show us something else from your house? I want to finish show and tell.
What else you want to see?
I don't know what else you got there.
I want to see your manifesto in progress.
Give us something. Just
It's up
Brian,
in here.
Brian, can you pick something in your house and just show us? Just get up and pick something real quick.
Also, I want to hear your conspiracy theory.
I'm
Oh,
convinced.
Okay, get the conspiracy theory. Go with that.
I'm convinced that whoever invented vaping did
Okay.
it to see if people would try to do something that would make them look as stupid as humanly possible.
I mean, isn't that like the bottled water industry also did that?
I mean, these people that vape, do they realize how fucking stupid they look? I mean, they're either walking around with like, a pen cap,
Yeah.
or they have that big fucking like box with the thing on it.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
like-
it does look kind of stupid.
Like
but,
here, hey, I invented this thing. It's instead of smoking, but you're basically sucking on a train whistle. Why don't you try it and see how fucking stupid you look? And he's getting it everywhere I go. I want a lady driving by me on the thing yesterday with a thing the size of this bottle. Like,
I remember Norm Macdonald had a bit about smoking. He's like, I started smoking because like I thought it would make me look cool, and you know what? It really did make me look cool.
I mean, the vaping is just so stupid. It's like you're puffing on a flash drive.
Do you think vaping is going to be a trend, or do you think it's like?
It already is.
It's 100% here to stay. Like, it's,
Yeah, you think it's going to be a mainstay?
I mean, unless someone comes out with another like version of it, but like,
But
yeah,
I don't even
it's
understand what it
so widespread now. It came out originally. It came out as a way to get people off cigarettes, like a healthier alternative than having like all the stuff from cigarettes. But then it just became a huge trend.
But I don't even understand what is it? Is it nicotine?
Yeah, it's nicotine. Yeah, or you can vape with weed. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I know that, but it's like nicotine that's like smells like cotton candy. So
Yeah,
walk by and
You
you're
can
like,
add flavors to it, and the flavors are also added to help people like make it more attractive to people who are trying to get off cigarettes. Originally, the idea was to actually get people off cigarettes, but now it's just made more people smoke.
But the people I see who vape, they're vaping like constantly. So are they?
oh yeah.
I think they're
I'm
having
not
more
saying
nicotine.
it's worked well. I'm just saying like that was the original intent.
No, but like like cigarette smokers, like they'd smoke like a cigarette maybe like every hour and a half, and vapors is like every like 35 seconds.
There's a new thing called. Have you guys heard of Zyn? The Zyn
No.
packets.
I've seen the Zyn tubes everywhere, but what is it? Is it chewing tobacco or?
I think it's chewing tobacco. Like the tins are everywhere, and I think they're little oral nicotine pouches you like put in your lip. That are like instead of like having when people dip,
Yeah.
it's like an easier way to dip basically.
It's dip without having to spit everywhere.
Yeah, it's a less gross. I guess it's a less gross dip. I'm not really sure. I haven't tried it, but apparently Zyn is like huge now.
Yeah, everywhere I go, I see people with the Zyn. I was at a concert. The guy next to me popped it out. I was going to ask him what it was, but I didn't.
I've tried dipping like maybe 3 times in my life. Literally every time you're not supposed to swallow the dip stuff.
Yeah.
I've swallowed it and then thrown up every time I've tried it. So
Awesome.
awesome. Okay, what's with email and then let's call the show.
Patty said you wouldn't choose it.
You wouldn't. I don't think you chew. You put it in your lip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's two. There's chew and there's dip. Like chewing tobacco, like you would chew it, like Lenny Dykstra. But then there's also just the dip that you put under your. Yeah.
I remember there was a when I was a kid there was like some kind of like hospital show or like something that was it was like a real life show. I remember it was one of the shows that you only saw if you were sick from school.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being sick from school.
Is that called
it was,
First Take?
it was like this. I might have been like 7 years old, and I remember at the end of the show it was about tobacco. At the end of the show, Lenny Dykstra came on and said, "I am no longer going to do chewing tobacco. it's bad if it causes cancer, and I'm making this vow to never do it again. And I was like, Lenny Dykstra, you're my hero. That's awesome. And then Lenny Dykstra proceeded to keep doing it and didn't give a shit. And I was like, fucking fraud.
Mr. C
Lenny
said
lied
his,
to me. That's unbelievable.
This was the first time an athlete had lied to me.
Mr. C said his kids said vaping is over and everyone does Zyn at college.
Oh, yeah. There you go. See? Zyn is really popular now.
Who said that?
Mr.
Mr.
C.
C.
Oh.
Jay, would you take up okay, we trade all the Brink properties for a
Yeah.
lifetime supply of Zyn.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's good for somebody with anxiety is stimulants. A lifetime supply of stimulants. I think that would.
Right,
be-
would you try Zyn?
Brian and I were never into tobacco. We never smoked. Like in college, like everybody was smoking, and Brian and I just did not.
Yeah.
No, I never like I'm
My
fine
parents
with weed,
smoked, so
but
it
not
turned me
cigarettes.
off.
Yeah, I never even tried a cigarette.
By the way, you never meet anyone literally in your whole life smoking a cigarette who doesn't say, I'm trying to quit.
Right. Yeah.
There's not a single person who's ever smoked who's not said. I mean, maybe in the 1960s, people were like, I'm trying to do this more often.
I always stayed away from stuff that is addictive. I guess other than
Love this.
alcohol.
The same way, I would love to see someone like at McDonald's being like eating a Whopper, being like, I'm trying to quit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we are about out of time. Didn't mind the Saturday morning episode though.
Wasn't bad. I have to. My kids happen to be out of the house. My wife she just got home, but she was out of the house too. It was a nice time, easier to do, right? Than like night episodes.
Little more pop. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we have
Yeah.
more energy.
Should we try to convince my kids to do things on the weekends
Yeah, tell
without
them.
me?
Be one of those parents that just open the back door and be like, "Get out! Don't come back in for like 3 hours."
Yeah. Come home for dinner.
Like an '80s parent, where they're just like, "Get out of the house! Don't come back."
By the way, Jay always says like, "Why don't you just give your kids video games and they'll just sit there doing that all day?" My kids would have no interest in doing that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Is
kids are
it-
different. Like I can't like my son barely uses his PlayStation.
I mean, that's good because I know a couple of like my wife's friends' kids that, like, if you let them, they'll play for like 12 hours a day. Like, that's just it.
I have my back injury. I'm like, Zach, can you play me video games? I can't do much. Play me video games. Like, I don't want to play video games. I'm like, we have to. We just bought you this tennis game for $50. You can't play me the goddamn tennis game.
Why don't you play the game?
I want to do it with him. I want to spend time with him. So I'm like
No.
trying to like come up with things I can do because I'm like more limited.
He's not into like retro games either, like Super Mario Brothers.
Couldn't be less interested. No interest whatsoever. Though he plays some games on his phone, but nothing like PS4. I don't know. He barely plays. He said he really wanted to play this tennis game and I also bought a subscription to the PS Plus so he could play with his friends.
Yeah.
He did that once, and then now we have the description. It was beneficial for one night of 365 nights.
Well, once a month.
PlayStation still the one. Is PlayStation still the better of that Xbox?
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Because I might have to get an Xbox soon because I got to get the new Flight Simulator game that's coming out.
It was close for like a while, but PlayStation's like way ahead now.
I feel like Oculus should have the Flight Simulator. That would be like. I mean, I don't know what the Flight Simulator game is like, but Oculus would make more sense for a Flight Simulator game.
I
It
don't
would.
think my laptop's strong enough.
But Brian, if it's for PlayStation,
Have you tried an Oculus?
Oh, what's that?
You know what it
Is
is?
that Is that like the goggles?
Yeah, you wear it on you. You're immersed. My son has an Oculus that he played it for like a month and hasn't played since. He barely plays it, but you put it on. You're fully immersed in the world. It's a little like disorienting,
Yeah.
but it really is like immersive. It is kind of like I've played multiple games on there, and like it is kind of like we had this game called Blank where you're on top of a building and you walk out on a plank above the city. I was literally like I couldn't walk out on the plank. My kids had to push me off the building basically.
Jay, that sounds like something for you. That'll help your anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool though.
Jay, why don't you just not have anxiety?
Have you tried not having anxiety? Why don't you try not worrying?
Have we tried having a huge audience?
Jay, why don't you try? Have you tried being a millionaire? You should try it.
It's all very good.
Have the
advice.
Mets tried beating the Phillies?
I hope they try today.
Yeah.
All right, so
How about Jay? We trade the Brink shows for good tickets to the Mets playoff games them today, or on Tuesday, really, the home game.
Why would I ever want to do that?
Jay,
Okay,
just think if we all went to the Mets game, we could record the show at the game.
Jay,
Like all
I'm
the
gonna
kids
sell
do.
my-
Instead of watching the game, we could just be online.
Jay, I'm going to sell my share of the Brink properties for a beer at the game.
I mean, that sounds like about equal value. I saw in Utah a beer is like $3 and a hot dog is $2. We haven't had those prices since like 1985.
Wouldn't you like to take obviously not like they were loaded or anything, but you have some money. You have some money in the bank account. You have some money. Would you like to take your money and go back to 1920 and then feel like a millionaire there? Oh, a sandwich is 10 cents. The entire restaurant's eating today.
Just go back to 1920 with a $20 bill and you could live for like the whole year.
I have this old Mets thing that has the prices from like, I don't know, I guess old timey. It's like a beer is 10 cents, like a pretzel is 5 cents. It's just like, you're like, oh my God, I'd be so rich if I could just take my money and go back in time.
Yeah. Even like the 60s. Like,
Okay, I have $100 bill. I'll take the Mets, the entire team.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how much a team was back then. Probably like 20 grand. I would think.
Probably not that cheap, but it's probably like, I mean, the difference in how much they paid for and how much they were worth now. Like,
Oh yeah. But no, I wonder what like a full team would be. 100,000?
you could look up how much were the Mets bought for.
It couldn't have been $1 million or anything like that. I wouldn't think. I mean, basketball is like barely in existence, so that was probably even cheaper.
Didn't somebody buy the Giants for like $20?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know that. I only know like recent purchases, which are like billions of dollars. I'm guessing they were all ridiculous.
I don't know.
back
I
then.
can't find it. It's not an easy search. Okay.
All right, so thanks for listening, everybody. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. We're Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter. thebrinkofsanity.substack.com if you want to check out
Make
our
us your offer, everyone. Make Jay your offer.
free comedy newsletter. Comes out 3 times a week. Sign up for that. And
Would you trade, hang on. Would you trade the podcast to make the newsletter successful? You can't do the podcast,
right.
but we will 10x your subscribers.
Yeah, probably.
Jay, would you
See
sell
where your
the-
loyalties lie.
Would you sell the Brink podcast for 20 grand, but you still had to do all the work?
So
Oh, yeah. Okay, here's this. You get 20 grand.
Yeah.
Everything continues, but now you're an employee.
Probably, because we're doing the show for free anyway, so I might as well have 20 grand. I mean, yeah, why not?
Jay's an employee, and the boss is the dick. Jay,
Would you
we gotta
you
get the
sell-
show up right now.
Hold on. Would you sell Brink for 100 grand?
He said yes already.
But you have to keep still doing all the work,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to buy a season ticket suite for the Mets games for us to go to games.
But do I have to go to the games?
You have to go to, let's see, there's 81 games. You have to go to 30.
No.
Okay, so Jay, you said you'd sell everything for 100 grand. How much of the 100 grand would you give Bry?
For the Brink properties?
The Brink properties, you sell them. Someone gives you 100 grand. It's not us. It's a listener who wants to do whatever with the show. Bry, and you're like, I just got 100 grand, and Bry's like, been on a lot of episodes. I've really contributed. Are you going to give me any of the money?
Hat in hand, where's my hat?
How much money are you going to give Bry?
I'll give Bry 10.
How do you feel about that, Bry?
That's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Give Bry 10, and
I'll start soliciting.
and Mark will get 40.
Is that all? Anything else? Or we
Unless Bry unquits again. If Bry stays on the show a little longer, we can up that to like.
Bry's like, I was
I'll
the
quit
original
when I get
founder.
my
I want
10.
half.
I'll quit when I get my 10.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will be back soon.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.